bueno, llamo al correcto. A ver, a ver. Ok, gracias. Yo no tengo
They gave me a 5-minute heads up on the conference. Yeah, I'm recording it in my camera, but they want it back at the station too. So there you go. So they told me, they gave me a 5 minutes, so.
Okay, he's going to come.
Go to the other side.
I think we get the police director. Yeah. Okay, are we good? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daniella Levine-Cava, your county mayor, and I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. We're continuing to monitor this ongoing fire at the county waste facility, and we're continuing to provide updates to our community, so thank you for sharing. Yesterday, at about 2 p.m., a fire broke out at our county waste-to-energy facility in Doral. Our brave Miami-Dade Fire Rescue staff responded almost immediately, and we've been working nonstop to put out the fire that is currently still burning in 2 of the structures on the property. And I'd like to start by thanking our incredible Miami-Dade Fire Rescue team and our Miami-Dade Police Department and Doral Police Department for their sacrifice and their willingness to place their lives on the line to protect and serve our community, especially during emergencies like this one. And I'd also like to thank my fellow local leaders who've joined with us here today. We have our County Commissioner, J.C. Bermudez, also of Doral, our City of Doral Mayor, Christy Fraga, Doral Vice Mayor, Rafael Pinheiro, Doral Councilwoman Digna Cabral, Doral Councilwoman Maureen Porras, and Miami-Dade County Public Schools Vice Chair Danny Espino. We have our Police Chief from the City of Doral, Edwin Lopez, Miami-Dade County Chief Operations Officer Jimmy Morales, our Chief of Public Safety, Freddie Ramirez, our Fire Chief, Ray Jadala, you'll be hearing from him shortly, our Emergency Operations Director, Pete Gomez, our Solid Waste Director, Mike Fernandez, and Bill Meredith from Covanta. I'm very grateful to report at this time there have been no injuries at the facility. And as our fire and rescue staff respond to the blaze, we're continuing to monitor air quality. All tests we are conducting have come back clear. There is no dangerous presence in the smoke. Our Department of Economic and Regulatory Management staff are on site, and they've begun water testing as well. And the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, is joining our professional staff later today at our request to continue ensuring safety for our residents. The area surrounding the plant is still experiencing smoky conditions, so as a safety precaution, we're asking that residents avoid this area if possible. Anyone who lives in the area should remain indoors and as much as possible and keep windows closed. For anyone driving through, we recommend you please keep your windows closed as well and to avoid any smoke coming into your vehicle. As of yesterday, the Doral Police Department closed off the following roads: Northwest 66th Street and Northwest 102 Avenue eastbound, and Northwest 97 Avenue and Northwest 74th Street southbound. While we're still assessing the full impact of this incident to our waste pickup, our Department of Solid Waste has already worked to reroute the trash collection that would have been previously delivered to this site. So you should experience no delays in your trash pickup. Our Director of Solid Waste, Mike Fernandez, or our Chief Operations Officer, Mike here? Mike will give us a more detailed update. But we do ask our residents to continue to put out your trash on your regularly scheduled days in the proper containers, and please to remain patient if you experience any delays in collection over the coming days as we put in place this new process. As our first responders continue fighting this fire with all resources available, we will keep you updated with all of the necessary safety information for as long as it takes to get this under control. Doral residents can anticipate additional communications through our emergency text messaging service over the coming days, and there's been robocalls as well. Thank you, Madam Mayor. And you may also visit for updates our website, miamidade.gov/waste FIRE. That's waste, W-A-S-T-E, FIRE, F-I-R-E. You'll get there the latest information and updates. So I ask all of our residents to join me in expressing our deep appreciation for the service of our dedicated first responders and pray for their continued safety as they battle this blaze. Nuestros bomberos y policías de Miami-Dade continúan a la escena casi de inmediato. La planta fue evacuada y afortunadamente no hemos reportado heridos. Las pruebas de calidad del aire siguen claras hasta el momento. Seguimos pidiendo que los residentes que viven cerca permanezcan adentro y cierren las ventanas para evitar el humo. Otros residentes deben evitar el área si es posible y si tienen que conducir, cierren las ventanas para evitar que entre humo en su vehículo. Nuestro Departamento de Residuos Sólidos ya ha logrado desviar gran parte de la basura que usualmente se trae a este sitio, pero le pedimos a nuestros residentes que tengan paciencia si hay demoras en la recolección de basuras en los próximos días. Seguiremos vigilando la situación y actualizando a la comunidad, pero para más información, por favor visiten miamidade.gov/wastefire. Muchas gracias. Thank you, everyone. And now I will turn to Commissioner J.C. Bermudez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm going to be brief, but I certainly want to repeat what Madam Mayor said. First and foremost, I want to thank the men and women of all our first responders, beginning with Miami-Dade County Police and Doral Police, and specifically and especially Miami-Dade County Fire for the great job they've done. You'll hear from the chief in a little bit as to the progress that's been made in this difficult situation, and I think it's very important. I am a Doral resident. I am in the impacted area, so what I would ask, and I thank the media for getting the message out, if you don't need to drive by the area, if you don't need to be in the area, then try to avoid it, number one. Number two, since this fire is still going on, try to avoid it. Number two, if you live in the area like I do, please try to listen to Madam Mayor's recommendations. Have your windows rolled up if you're driving, and you don't need to go outside for a couple of days if possible. It's probably the wisest thing to do. So once again, thank you to the men and women of the Miami-Dade County Fire Department and Police Department for the great job they've done, along with the Doral Police. It's really been a collective effort that's limited what could have been a very difficult situation. And hopefully, even though this is not over for the time being, I think we've avoided what could have been a very difficult scenario. So please be attentive, as the mayor said, to some of the texts that you'll be receiving, or go to the county website. Como residente de la ciudad de Doral, que vive en la área impactada, quiero darle primero las gracias, como mencionó la alcaldesa, al Departamento de Policía del Condado y también de la ciudad de Doral, y en particular apoyando y dándole muchas gracias al Departamento de Bomberos del Condado de Miami-Dade. Sí que estamos muy agradecidos. Ustedes van a escuchar en un rato al jefe de bomberos explicar un poquitico más de dónde estamos en esta situación, que gracias a Dios no fue peor. Mi sugerencia, como residente que está impactado, que ha vivido en esa área por más de 24 años y vivo en la área que está impactada, le pido a los que no tienen que viajar en esa área, los que no tienen que ir a trabajar en esa área, por favor, no hay necesidad de pasar por ahí. Desvíanse, vayan en otra dirección si es posible. Los que vivimos en esa área, por favor, escuchen lo que la alcaldesa muy correctamente recomendó. Si están viajando las calles de la ciudad de Doral, por favor, suban sus ventanas. Si viven en la área impactada, traten de no salir afuera por un tiempo. Suban sus ventanas para que no estén abiertos, por si acaso el humo va en la dirección de su casa. Los dejo con esto, que es muy importante, no solamente como comisionado del distrito, pero también como residente de la ciudad de Doral, que fue en gran parte impactada por este incidente. Vamos a darle las gracias otra vez a las mujeres y los hombres del Departamento de Bomberos del Condado Miami-Dade, que han hecho un gran trabajo. Reitero que este fuego todavía sigue. Puede ser que siga unos cuantos días, pero gracias a Dios por el esfuerzo de esos hombres y esas mujeres, nadie ha sido impactado, ni siquiera las personas que trabajan en el sitio, y más importante también, o igualmente importante, los residentes del área. Así que muchas gracias, y por favor, gracias a ustedes que ayudan a que este mensaje llegue a los residentes del condado Miami-Dade y las personas que viven y viajan en nuestra comunidad.
Great. You want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Christy Fraga, Doral.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Christy Fraga, Mayor of the City of Doral. Again, I will not repeat everything that's been said. I simply want to thank the County Mayor, Daniella Cava, as well as our Commissioner, and all involved in this process, starting with the Miami-Dade Fire Department, who quickly responded to the scene, and Miami-Dade County Police, along with Doral Police, who made sure that the roads were closed and immediately provided access so that more resources could come on site to combat and to stop the fire from spreading. At this time, as it's been said, the fire continues, so we are asking the residents of Doral to please avoid the area if possible. Also, because of delays in traffic that may exist, it's important if you can find alternative routes, please do so that way the resources that need to get to these facilities can, and the businesses that are around that area are able to access their businesses. We are in constant communication with the county, and we thank them for all the updates that have been coming. We also have put out alerts to our residents through robocalls and text messages for assistance and additional information on what roads are closed and what's the best way to get to your business if you have a business around there or live in the area. So we continue to thank those who are involved, the Doral Police for their great work in making sure that our roads and our traffic flow continues, and Miami-Dade Fire for continuing to fight this fire. Christy Fraga, alcaldesa de la ciudad de Doral. Brevemente quiero darle gracias a el condado, a la alcaldesa del condado, Daniella Cava, igual que al departamento de bomberos que actuaron muy rápidamente en este instante, y el departamento de policía del Doral y también del condado, que han trabajado juntos para asegurar las calles en esta área. No voy a repetir todo lo que se ha dicho, ya sabemos las recomendaciones es que eviten estar en esta área si es posible mientras que haya humo, y más que nada porque van a haber atrasos en lo que es el tránsito y el tráfico si hay muchas personas en esta área que no tienen que estar transitando en esa área. Si pueden encontrar rutas alternativas, por favor háganlo en este momento. Por ahora las operaciones de nosotros siguen iguales, nuestros parques están abiertos y estaremos monitoreando y en comunicación con el condado para tener cualquier nuevo avance o aviso que hay sobre este tema. De nuevo le damos gracias a todos involucrados. Hemos puesto mensajes de texto y llamadas telefónicas a nuestros residentes con la información necesaria. Pueden mantenerse en comunicación con nosotros en las redes de la ciudad y también en la página de web, igual que en el condado y en la página que ha dado la alcaldesa del condado para mantener informados. Muchísimas gracias por toda la ayuda y por todos los mensajes que han dado.
Great. And now our Vice Chairman for the Miami-Dade County Schools, Dan Espino. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Danny Espino, Vice Chair, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. I'm also District 5 representative on the school board. First and foremost, on behalf of MDCPS, I also want to thank the brave men and women of the Miami-Dade County Fire Department for their prompt response, their strong response, which I genuinely believe helped to minimize the impact to the surrounding community and the surrounding schools. An impact that I was able to witness myself this morning. I drove through the Covanta area to the closest Miami-Dade County Public School to the area, the Andrea Castillo Preparatory Academy. I found clear air, and the only smoke I was able to see was being carried off to the southeast thanks to a favorable wind. Our schools were open today. However, in an abundance of caution, the superintendent decided to cancel all outdoor activities, including sports. We ask all parents to stay attentive to communications from the school district and from your local school to ensure that you understand what's happening, all the activities, and any restriction on those activities. Brevemente en español, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Dani Espino, soy el vicepresidente de la Junta Escolar, también sirvo como miembro distrito número 5 por la Junta. Primeramente le quiero hacer las gracias al Departamento de Bomberos por sus esfuerzos pudieron minimar el impacto de este fuego en la comunidad y especialmente en la escuela. Es un impacto que yo pude ver esta mañana personalmente cuando visité a la academia de Andrea Castillo, donde encontré un aire claro y el poco humo que pude ver estaba llevado por un viento del noreste hacia el sureste, que diga. Le quiero pedir a los padres que estén atentos a las comunicaciones del distrito. Hoy nosotros cancelamos las actividades afuera, incluyendo los deportes. Le pido a los padres que estén atentos a ver si seguimos cancelando las actividades dependiendo en la actividad de este fuego. Y le doy las gracias de nuevo al condado, a nuestra alcaldesa, también a la alcaldesa de la ciudad por estar involucrado con la Junta Escolar y avisarnos lo que está pasando para poder transmitirlo a los padres en nuestras escuelas. Muchas gracias.
Excellent. Our Fire Chief, Ray Jadala. This way now.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor. So as of, we're 24 hours, just over 24 hours into the operations of this fire at Covanta trash site. So currently we have 150 firefighters, over 40 units from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. We also activated in the early hours of the incident management team, coupled with resources through the Department of Emergency Management. As of late last night into early morning, we strategically placed additional apparatuses. We took some calculated risks. We were able to place personnel in areas to cut off the fire. And again, we are down to basically 2 buildings that are currently on fire. These 2 are an extreme challenge. And one of the challenges are one building, one building has 2 walls that are starting to cave in, preventing us from accessing the building. The second building, we have no access to get fire trucks or hose lines as a result of the warping metal and the imminent collapse. Our hazmat units continue to monitor the air, and I just want to emphasize something that has been discussed, but it's not just the air that's currently at 97th Avenue and Northwest 70th Street. We've sent our units as far down to 2 miles into downwind to ensure that the area is clear. Since the inception of the monitoring, we've received 0 readings for any possibility of hazardous materials. We continue to operate at this fire, and I know that many of the questions is how long will this fire burn? We're still just not there yet. We'll be able to reassess tomorrow morning and come up with some form of answer. Thank you.
And do we need to hear from? Mike. Okay, Mike Fernandez, our Director of Solid Waste, and we'll have a Haitian Creole translation, and then we'll open for questions. And yes.
Hi, just a couple service updates. Please continue to put your garbage out by 7 o'clock on your service day. Routes will continue picking up as normal. We've rerouted our solid waste customers to other disposal facilities throughout the county, and service is still as normal. Everything's normal. Everything's normal. So just please continue putting your garbage on. We'll continue collecting it, and we'll continue assessing the situation at the plant. Thank you.
In Spanish?
Well, I can have him come in Spanish.
Okay. Your Spanish is fine, Mike.
Y ahora en español, para el Departamento de Desechos Sólidos del Condado Miami-Dade, yo soy Frank Calderón. Solo para reiterar que a los clientes nuestros que vamos a seguir sirviendo o vamos a seguir recogiendo la basura, así que deben de sacar la basura como normal. Lo único que le decimos o que le pedimos es que tengan un poco paciencia, porque debido a esta situación es posible que se demore un poco la recogida, pero vamos a seguir recogiendo la basura. Y para los que traen la basura a nuestras instalaciones para el desecho final, que tienen que usar otras instalaciones y no estas, por supuesto, debido a la causa del fuego. Y eso es todo. Gracias.
Okay, and now Erica Benitez, who will speak in Spanish on behalf of the department. Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes. Bueno, en este momento los bomberos de Miami-Dade todavía continúan trabajando en apagar este incendio, el cual comenzó ayer a eso de las 2:30 de la tarde. Hemos usado varias estrategias para tratar de apagar este incendio. Es un incendio el cual continúa ardiendo debido a lo que vemos que está quemando dentro de esta planta. Actualmente tenemos aproximadamente 150 bomberos y personal en total que está trabajando todavía en esta planta. Tenemos más o menos 40 unidades de bomberos, los cuales continúan presentes y trabajando en esta área. Nuestro equipo de materiales peligrosos continúa monitoreando el aire en la zona y en este momento lo que vemos es que todos los resultados continúan siendo normales. No hemos dado ningún resultado que sea fuera de lo normal. Se estima que esta operación continúe hasta que podamos apagar el incendio.
Thank you. And now for our Haitian Creole translation. Thank you, Lionel.
Thank you, Madame Mayor. Bonsoir tout le monde. Hier après-midi, vers 2h, il y a un du feu qui éclaté dans le local, dans Doral, côté au transformé Fatra en énergie. Et le département pompier a une équipe qui presque immédiatement est allé sur place pour être capable de répondre à la question ça. Et ça qui est arrivé, c'est que nous continuons à travailler jusqu'à dans 2 buildings qui encore du feu là-dedans. Nous sommes très reconnaissants que pas de monde qui ni blessé ni cas grave dans le moment que nous avons parlé. Et le département pompier nous continue à répondre à la nécessité qui gagne au niveau du feu ça qui est éclaté. Nous continuons à suivre la qualité air qui gagne dans la région. Et qualité air là, à partir de tests que nous faisons, montrer que tout le bagage est clair. Zone qui à côté capable de recevoir la fumée quand même à partir du feu qui gagne dans la zone. Pour sécurité avec précaution, tout le monde et tout résident nous avons dû demander pour éviter de passer dans la zone ça. Il y a un résident qui est exactement vivre dans l'espace là lui-même, tant pis rester à l'intérieur, quitter porte avec fenêtre fermée. Il y a un monde qui dans la machine qui a passé, tant pis Kembe vite machine nous monter pour éviter que la fumée entre dans la machine. Pendant que nous continuons à évaluer l'impact ça gagne comme incident sur reste activité nous, le département Fatra continue lui-même de côté Pali à rediriger Fatra qui était doué dans le local ça pour aller dans l'autre local et nous demandons des résidents tout yo même de côté par yo Fatra qui était prévu pour être collecté dans zone yo tant pis mettez yo dehors dans l'heure que nous t'ai indiqué dans jour que habitué passer prend yo et exercer patience sinon ouais que poko passer vinn prend dans moment qui a venir résident Doral yo capable attendre que nous voyez l'autre message ba yo à partir de texte message dans le système que département pompier gagne. Dernier bagage que nous avons dit, si vous avez besoin de plus d'informations, allez dans miamidade.gov/wastefire. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, we have questions or comments? Yes.
So evidently, after everything that we've heard, I think that the main concern is the health implications for Doral residents. When you say that everything is under control and we hear someone from the fire department, does it mean, we'd like to know the magnitude of how bad it may be, and does it mean that residents should go out and wear a mask?
Yes, thank you for the question. So the fire is continuing. It's not totally done. So they're doing everything they can as quickly as possible to eliminate the fire. The air is under constant testing to see if there are any hazardous materials in the smoke, and there have been no findings as such. Also, the EPA, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, is coming this afternoon to add their additional monitoring as well, so we'll have that information. We are in an abundance of caution, advising people in the area to keep their windows closed, roll up their car windows. No public schools have been canceled, and only afternoon after-school activities canceled, just in an abundance of caution.
In a week? The facility processes how much percentage of garbage within a week?
Oh, garbage. Mike?
Percentage?
How much garbage?
Percentage? Percentage? We approximate about half, 60, around 50 to 60% of the waste that we receive.
How much longer do you guys expect to be out here for this? How long do you think it'll take to push the buildings contain? I know you said one may be collapsing.
So one of the things that in part of the operational period, we are looking at bringing in heavy machinery to actually control demolition of that one or the two walls that are starting to sag in. Once we bring down the walls, we'll have a better understanding as to how long the operation, will continue from there. But until we bring down those walls in a controlled fashion, I just don't have a timeline right now.
The fire started in the conveyor belt.
So I just wanted to clarify something that I may have said yesterday. So what we believe is, based on the witnesses, that the fire may have originated by the conveyor belt around the second floor. We do have, the surveillance footage. We are investigating the information along with Miami-Dade Police. But until we, have an understanding as to where it originally started, right now, just based on the witnesses, it was around the conveyor belt.
Para la alcaldesa Fraga, por favor. Estuvimos conversando más temprano con muchos residentes del Doral que esto era precisamente lo que temían, sino una explosión a futuro, y es por eso que han estado durante los últimos años, como usted sabe, protestando para que se mueva esa planta procesadora. ¿Qué usted les dice?
En este momento estamos enfocados en que apaguen el incendio que existe. Es súper importante, no solamente por la seguridad de los bomberos que están actualmente incansablemente peleando este fuego, pero también para todos los residentes y para volver a la normalidad y poder entrar y accesar lo que ha sucedido en este momento. Para nosotros en Doral esto siempre ha sido de importancia, alguna preocupación que existe, y junto al condado vamos a trabajar para poder buscar una solución y poder accesar qué se va a hacer en estos momentos ahora que hemos ocurrido en este incidente.
Una pregunta para usted, alcaldesa, por favor.
Esto es un local ordinaria en el sentido de que muchas municipalidades encienden su basura y siempre estamos monitoreando, y había tal vez otros accidentes de fuego, pero nunca a este nivel. Entonces por eso estamos, claro, luchando el fuego y monitoreando también el humo.
De esa área siempre ha sido el tóxico, o lo que ellos consideran pudiera ser perjudicial para su salud. Usted sabe que han tratado de llamar toda la atención posible para que se saque esa planta de ahí, porque cuando eso se construyó no había tanta población como hay ahora. Eso ha sido infructuoso, no se ha podido porque el condado tiene un contrato con la empresa. Ahora que se suscita este problema, pues ellos han dicho, es precisamente esto lo que hemos temido, o algo mucho peor en el futuro. ¿Qué usted les dice?
Con la alcaldesa del Doral estamos buscando una solución de largo plazo, y ya estamos en comunicación con varias compañías a ver cuál sería la solución.
Not long ago, Madam Cava, not long ago, it was decided that the plant was going to be moved up front. Considering the impact, and I'm glad there was no major impacts to lives, have the county considered looking at the other alternatives that you guys had back then before making the decision of leaving the plant in Doral?
So you may remember that there was a report done that looked at possible locations. Before I had a chance to really recommend this, the commission made a determination to continue at this location. As I said, we are looking at future possibilities at this time. Obviously, we're in a situation where we have a short-term change that we have to make, and as well, we're looking at long-term solutions. Thank you.
Mr. Meredith, can you walk us through, there's two buildings on fire now. What role, how will we describe it? Is that where the incinerator actually is? And what's your best estimate for how quickly this could get back up and running?
Buildings that are on fire now are the garbage pit where the fuel, where the trash comes in, is stored, and then also the garbage processing area behind it. It's not actually in the boilers at this point. And as far as an estimate, we have to get in the building first, so we're waiting for the fire department to give us clearance.
And do you think it was a faulty conveyor belt?
Don't know at this point. It could be a number of things.
Could it be anything related to chemicals or anything that people dispose of that they shouldn't, type of thing?
Speculate, but right now we're processing normal MSW residential waste.
Is that something that's going to be looked at too? About chemicals or people dumping stuff in their garbage that they're not supposed to?
So we have a very extensive waste management system with different locations for different aspects of the waste stream, and obviously we have methods for dealing with chemicals as well. There was a question here.
Para Erika. Porque el jefe dio una explicación, solo quería pedirle la precisión de en qué consisten las operaciones que están ocurriendo en este momento. Él habló de la demolición de una estructura que es necesario para poder finalizar la tarea de apagar el incendio, pero quería pedirle esa precisión en español.
Claro, esta es una labor muy ardua, es una labor bastante difícil de poder apagar el incendio debido a que el incendio está localizado profundamente dentro de esta estructura. Lo que estamos tratando de hacer en este momento es tal vez derrumbar dos paredes, las cuales al derrumbar estas paredes sería mucho más fácil poder trabajar para apagar el incendio.
La versión de que puede ser en la cinta que transporta la basura donde originó el fuego, el conveyor belt, en español la cinta.
Okay. Bueno, esa es información que estamos manejando, estamos revisando los videos de seguridad. Eso solamente se va a determinar cuando se termine la investigación, obviamente cuando apaguemos el incendio.
I would like to clarify that this was not a chemical disposal site. So there are other sites that specifically take chemicals. This was not one of them. All right.
The last question. We knew about some 4 intersections that had been closed, and they said not to go through. Has that changed? Has any of them opened up?
We still have the same intersections closed. It's from 66th to 74th on 102nd Avenue, and from 58th Street to 74th on 97th Avenue, and then obviously between 97th and 102nd on 66th. So everything around it, yeah. 74th Street is open, and so is 58th Street, but expect delays because there's no no north and southbound on 97th and 102nd. It's all being routed to 107th and really 87th Avenue. So there is quite backup. But this morning, Doral Police was out there and really helping assist in traffic. And I don't want to speak for the chief, but I think we're going to have the same operation this afternoon. So.
Mike, can you clarify? You said up to 60% of the county's solid waste is being diverted from this facility. How long can you keep that up? And can you also clarify, you are expecting some disruptions, but not just within not different day for pickups? Like what should customers expect?
So a lot of this material is diverted from our landfills because we want to try as much as possible to be as sustainable and try to do a better thing for the environment. As well as I want to just touch on a couple other things. Now is more important than ever. I think we got to focus on recycling. You have our home composting program as well. Look at doing that to try and minimize the volume in your waste stream. But going back to your question, basically right now, obviously we're using the different disposal facilities where we would have ended up bringing from to go to the plant. We're just going to leave them there. And then your second question was? How long?
Yeah,
so
what should the customers expect?
Customers shouldn't really see any impact at all. From a curbside collection standpoint, they should continue normal services, 7 a.m., have your garbage picked up, your green cart, as well as commercial establishments from the private side. They should be able to come and dispose of our facilities like normal. If there might be, what there could be is bottlenecking, I guess you could say, because you have trucks going at different facilities, but we're going to get our facilities in and out, so.
I would just like to use this as an opportunity to emphasize what our Director of Solid Waste just said. This should hopefully help people to understand that in our waste stream, everyone has a role to play. Definitely, you can avoid purchasing items that are single-use plastics. We have a major campaign to end the use of single-use plastics. If you are using water bottles or paper that can be recycled, please help us by recycling, and definitely composting, another great way. So anything that we can all do to reduce our waste is beneficial for our community and our environment. Quiero decir en español, eso sí es una oportunidad muy importante para todos aprendan lo que está pasando con la basura y que todos nosotros tenemos la responsabilidad de bajar la basura, usar menos cosas que puede echar, hacer el recycling con responsabilidad y ayudarnos en bajar la basura en nuestra comunidad, para el ambiente natural y también para la eficiencia del sistema. Gracias.
For firefighters in terms of being exposed to chemicals and just how long they're at this site or will be at this site?
So again, just to reiterate, we haven't encountered any of the chemicals. And that facility doesn't have any chemicals, and by no means. However, I know that we did have some standing water around the areas where we were fighting the fire. We have a policy in place where we exchange their gear right away. So as soon as they get back to the firehouse, their gear is removed from them, including their hoods, their masks, their gloves, and they're given another set to have their set cleaned up. We do also have our mandated physicals, and of course, anyone that has any type of exposures, we actually have an in-house system where they submit any sort of ailment as a result of an exposure. But right now, we have no chemical issues in regards to this fire.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you.